Good morning, everyone. Well, guess what? So yesterday, what's going on here on the porch? That's a weird one. Never know what's going on around me. Oh, the horses are back already. Here they come. So I built the gate. I was wondering whether that piece is going to be in the right way. Okay, so first of all, I talked about it yesterday. I worried. Okay, did I do it wrong again? So it ended up I had to have two end pieces on the gate. Okay. Oh, let's see. Maybe you guys can see it. It stands out pretty much right over there. You guys see it? I hope I'm having this right here for you guys to see it. And I have two end pieces, and the darker piece I was going to have in the front for the latch, and the other piece on the back, because that piece I felt to me like was stronger. Okay, newer wood. And so I went out there and I started doing it, and it fit perfectly. I found such a great job. And I got the hinges off the old gate and started putting the hinges on and realized, according to top and bottom of the gate, the darker piece now was on the back. But that diagonal piece is right. Hey, listen, when I work with stuff like this that I'm not very familiar with, or I've done some carpentry work. I did a lot of stuff in the house too, this and that, and it looks okay. It's definitely not perfect, but it looks fine. Yeah, it looks like Daniela built it, done. Yes. And but Spirit World's always right there with me. Oh, who from Spirit World? Former carpenters, good ones. Yes, I remember the one time I was finished up a door frame. I had it. I've waited for years and years and years for the guys to finish certain things up, and I just had it, and I just got that 1 year. I just got to it. I finished up walls and doorways and window casings and who knows what I all did that year. Okay, and I was getting ready to hammer that piece of wood in on the casing of the door, and every time there comes a hummingbird. Hi, little one. Good morning. You're up early too, huh? And every nail that I tried to hammer in bent. Every one of them. I couldn't get the nail in. Just couldn't do it. Finally, about 3-4 nails later, I'm going, what did I do something wrong? So, yeah, here we go. Did I do something wrong? Did I? Yeah, talking to Spirit World. And it was me. I said, well, look at the board. And I looked, and I didn't notice that the way I had positioned it, that it was about this much too long on the top and this much too short at the bottom. Just didn't notice, okay? And I'm going, okay. So I repositioned the board, took a nail, and it went in just like this. I know, right? Well, on the gate here, as I said, it was like this. Oh, okay, how did I not, what? How did this work out now? That piece was supposed to be on the other side. I'm pretty sure I had that all figured out in my head on how it was supposed to be. But in order to have that diagonal board in properly, right, this is how it had to be. And it worked out great. And on top of that, the piece of wood that I needed, just a little for the third hinge, for the hinge in the middle, is exactly the same color as the one that the hinge is on the outside there. Perfect. Or not perfect, but just about 95% perfect. So I showed it to my brother-in-law last night, to we took a picture and sent it to him, and he says, "Hey, you got the Fibonacci sequence going there." I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, look at it. I'm telling you." Da, da, da. And sure enough, we came to, it had exactly 13 boards on there, right? And then the 1, 2, and 3 of the small ones plus the other ones. He says, "Man, that's amazing. How did you do that?" I said, "I don't know. I didn't do it. And he says, "Wow, that's really cool." And he is the carpenter, okay? So here we go. We have a Fibonacci gate. We're going to call it the Fibonacci gate. And he says, "Would you mind?" I said, "Don't you think if we put a little arch in there, you know?" He said, "Oh, yeah, that sounds good." I can't do that. There's no way I'm going to attempt that kind of stuff, okay? And so we're going to have, I said, "Oh," and I said, "We could have Danny paint the rainbow in the front, right, on it, right? Because it's like that." He called it let's put a rainbow arch in there, right? Okay. We believe in the true rainbow, okay? I'm just saying, right? But again, when it comes to things like that, just mention that real quick, is when I saw that happening, I went out and I said, there you go. God has a place everywhere, right? That promise is a promise, and if it is showing up all over the world, okay, all right, for what purpose? Well, you know what? People do what they want. That doesn't change the fact that the rainbow in the sky reminds us of the promise of God. Done. So, and I've mentioned that when I came across it with certain, oh, it's so beautiful to see the promise of God in everybody's life, regardless on then how they want to use it. It's still that. You see? Okay. There you go. Anyway, so very happy with that gate. How when you work with Spirit World, it's just life just becomes more round, more whole, more everything. And as I said, you get help. I've told my grandchildren and my grandchildren more now. So, you know, when you go to school and you have a test, this, that, right, and you're not so sure, this, that, say, just ask one of the teacher angels, right, to help you. Right? Yes, to be there with you, to give you confidence, right, and to find that knowledge in your mind. And I said, it's not about not studying. I said, it doesn't work that way. But, and I said, and otherwise too. There's the angels. I found, through my experiences with Spirit World, so many angels are not being made use of, right? Of course, on the side of goodness. Because you have to ask. You ask. You humbly ask. Or just, okay, guys. I have this kind of, hey, okay, guys, need some help here. If you're available, I would really appreciate it. And the thing is, the angels are just kind of waiting, right? Like workers at the side of the road waiting for a job, right? Yeah, got work for a couple of days, just one day. Yeah, okay, I'm coming, yeah. Mostly it's construction work and stuff like that, right? Yes, but still. Oh, how about substitutes? Sissy right now, she's substituting at the high school, right? She does that besides another job she has, and she waits. Okay, to get the call, which she gets a lot of calls. They love her. The children love her, and the teachers love her, right? Yes. Good combination there. So it's for the angels the same thing. They're waiting. All of them in their different realms of expertise, waiting to help us. You get that? Yes? So there's the angels, right? And then there's a lot of spirits doing the same thing. Okay? Yes? Doing the same thing. Ready to help. Ready to be there for you. Well, because they get little stars in Spirit World for things like that too. Spiritual growth very, very difficult in Spirit World, right? If you need it. But if you help in the physical, right? As I said, what did I talk about yesterday? it helps their spiritual growth to go faster. Yes, huh? Yeah. Hmm. Anywho, so there's that. Our Fibonacci sequence gate. Yep. I did see Bo, our oldie. I found out that I've been looking for something that maybe I could give him. He wants to go out. He doesn't want to stay in the stall and take a day off or anything like that. He doesn't want to do that. He's and just standing around in the stall really isn't all that great for him. If he most likely has some arthritis going on. So I thought, how do I help him just be out there and be a little more stable, or a little less pain. You can give him that butte, but first of all, it's very expensive. Number two, then I would have to have a vet come here first. That's even more expensive. And butte's really, it's really not good for their stomach, and I don't need something else that's not good for his stomach, right? Yes, due to what I said yesterday as well. So I went and looked it up, and guess what? I can give him Tylenol. That 500 milligram Tylenol that I don't. Nobody else takes that. It's just something that came into the house, and I went and looked it up. Sure enough, you can give them 20 of those a day. I'm not going to give him 20 of those. It's by weight, So I thought, I'll just give him 2 in the morning and 2 at night. Our horses, they're on absolutely nothing. So whatever I give them will work at least some. And again, you never know if they have an adverse reaction, because that is medicine, So I'm going to do that. And he's so old. If I do this now until his life runs out, he's not. I doubt very much that little bit will affect him in a negative way, have any side effect otherwise. But one never knows. So I'll know if, but I will also know if it's doing any good. Maybe I'll increase it to 4, but 20? I'm not going to give him 20. Are you kidding me? Anywho, so there you go. But it's good to know if that I could give him a larger dose if things go really bad, and we might have to. I don't know. I have no idea how long that horse is going to last. He just keeps going and going. This is every day. He wants to go out. He goes and he goes with them. I mean, they walk ways and ways. Well, anyway, there you go. Okay, for our celestial condition, heaven on earth, I was a blessed child. Peace in mankind, care and love for every dependent child. Peace, every child feels secure, which reflects cause and effect in the child's life. Oh. Daniela, just read. If maybe that'll come up again later, then I'll talk about that. Something I saw and contemplated about, and the trends out there right now their children could get involved in, we're not talking a toy or anything, are pretty horrific. Peace, every child eats. Peace, every child is warmed in cold times. Peace, understanding a child's growth in troubling times. Oh, there we go. That's part of that as well. Then to guide the child to attain harmony with peace. I am peace as a father, as a mother, as a son, as a daughter of God. Peace, to become the best I can be for every child. Repentance, knowing every child is deserving of peace. Prayer, knowing every child comes first. Restored, conditions are fulfilled when every child is loved and cared for. Death separates us from our earthly path to attain peace. Our taught descendants are the future, the change of lineage, God's lineage in action. the true cause and effect in a child's harmonious and happy life. I am an adult, ashamed to ask for anything from my heavenly parents for myself. If a child on earth needs my prayers in conditions greater than I, peace will happen when peace can be found in every child. I will be less than any child that suffers due to mankind's unkindness. Mankind's unkindness. It's amazing one can even actually make a sentence like that. Mankind's unkindness. It amazes to me that even exists. Spirit world will hold us all accountable, regardless. Remember that. Mankind's unkindness. Weird one to me. But it's out there. Too much of it. Very sad. Okay. Numbers 31. Booty and its allocation. Alrighty, we're getting into the pirate season here of the Israelites. I got hair all over me. I brushed the horses out yesterday. I had nothing better to do than to wear this jacket. It's full of hair. I tried to get off as much as I could. Oh, dear me. The Holy War, of course. The Holy War against Midian. The Holy War. You have to put, it's not just the War of Midian, right? You have to put the Holy War so that, sanctioned by God. Yes, yes, yes. The Holy War. The Holy War, that's like two words put together that are absolutely fallible together. Don't make sense. This doesn't make any sense. A holy war? Yahweh. Sounded like there was somebody singing out there. Huh. That'd be something if somebody had a visitor coming down that way. No, that was a chicken. I heard it again. Just sounded like singing. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, exact the full vengeance for the Israelites on the Midianites. Don't believe that. Afterwards you will be gathered to your people. Moses said to the people, some of you are to take up arms for Yahweh's campaign against Midian, to carry out the vengeance of Yahweh on Midian. That's not God. I don't know what God they're talking about now, but it's not our God. Our God is an awesome God, not a vengeful one. You will put 1,000 men in the field from each of the tribes of Israel. That would be 12,000 then. In this way, Israel's thousands provided 12,000 men equipped for war, 1,000 from each tribe. Moses put them in the field, 1,000 from each tribe, with Phinehas, son of the priest Eleazar, to go with them, carrying the sacred objects and the trumpets for the battle cry. Aha. I happen to know that somewhere else in here it said, or says, that the Levites are not to be engaged in war or battle or whatever, right? Well, they're just, the priest just goes along for, okay, I'm sorry. People can fix this any way they want to. Don't kick that car, Maverick. He's in a mood sometimes. All right, you going to check out the new gate? Sure is. Yep, he sure is. He's checking out the gate. What do you think? Did I do a good job? let's just read through it, whatever they wrote down, right? But anyway, oh, okay, there's a discrepancy right there. So which way is it going to be? That way or this way? Or are you going to just fix it however you want to? Because, all right. They made war on Midian as Yahweh had ordered Moses. You have to mention that continuously, right? And put every male to death. What is more, they killed the kings of Midian, Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur, and Reba, the 5 Midianite kings. They also put Balaam, son of Beor, to the sword. Wait a second. But Balaam refused to... They killed Balaam too. But Balaam had refused, right, to curse them. But don't they know that? Why would they kill a good man? Uh-huh. You see? Uh-huh. You see? Am I wrong about this? That's not sanctioned by God, I guarantee you. And this is not a holy war, okay? No, absolutely not. Somebody wasn't listening to God. All right, okay, Daniela. I'm just saying. The Israelites took the Midianite women and their little ones captive and carried off all their cattle, all their flocks, and all their goods as booty. Women and children are booty. Great. Well, wonderful. Oh, pooh. And, by the way, wait a minute. Didn't we just have before on how the Israelites themselves went to whose women? Weren't they Midianite women? And God said, no, we're not doing that. Now what are they doing? Where are these women all going to go? With whom? Huh? Aha. I'm telling you. I know when I'm right. This is not sanctioned by God. This is just the Israelites doing whatever they want. Interesting. Oh, wow. Look at that. They set fire to the towns where they lived and to all their encampments. Then taking all their booty, you should be slapped on your booties. That's what you guys needed at that time. Everything they had captured, human and animal. They brought the captives, spoil and booty to Moses, the priest Eleazar, and the whole community of Israelites at the camp of the plains of Moab near the Jordan by Jericho. You know, oh my God. Let's just keep reading. It gets better. The slaughter of the women and purification of the booty. Sage, I'm about to have a cow here, I'm telling you. Moses, the priest Eleazar, and all the leaders of the community went out of the camp to meet them. Moses was enraged with the officers of the army, the commanders of the thousands and commanders of the hundreds who had come back from this military expedition. He said, "Why have you spared the life of the women?" They were the very ones who, on Balaam's advice, caused the Israelites to be unfaithful to Yahweh in the affair at Peor. Well, what affair was that? Oh, we didn't read about that. I didn't read about that. Did you guys? Balaam? What did Balaam have to do with all that? Hence the plague which struck Yahweh's community. So kill all the male children and kill all the women who have ever slept with a man. But spare the lives of the young girls. Who have never slept with a man, and keep them for yourselves. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are you getting this? If you're not getting this, well, I can't help you. I am not going to get any further into this. This has nothing to do with God's direction or guidance or anything. This is just all man-made. And look at on how the desires are already taking over. Right? For what? Young girls, virgin girls. Yes. Oh, keep them for yourselves. That's okay. Kill the little boys. What? So they killed babies. Well, are we not all so horrified over the fact that King Herod did what at the time when Jesus was born? But here, it's okay, right? It's okay here, right? Is it? It's okay. It's okay to do that here, right? Yes? Okay. Alrighty then. Who cares, right? Yeah. As for you, bivouac outside the camp for 7 days. Everyone who has killed anyone or touched a corpse, purify yourselves and your prisoners on the 3rd and 7th days, and purify all clothing, everything made of skin, everything woven of goat's hair, and everything made of wood. The priest Eleazar said to the soldiers who had come back from the campaign, "This is an article of the law which Yahweh prescribed to Moses. Also gold, silver, bronze, iron, tin, and lead, everything that can withstand fire, can be cleaned by being passed through fire. It must still be purified with water for purification. Whatever cannot resist fire, you must pass through water." Nicely how they have that all figured out, huh? "Wash your clothes on the 7th day, and you will then be clean. You may then re-enter the camp." Okay, whatever. The allocation of the booty. Ugh, gosh. Ugh. This is again a chapter that makes me sick. Calm down, Daniela. Calm down. Unbelievable. The allocation of the booty. Yahweh spoke to Moses and said, "With the priest Eleazar and the heads of families in the community, take account of the spoils and captives, human and animal. You will then share out the spoil, half and half." Yahweh spoke to Moses. I doubt very much that they had any kind of communication with God at that time, during that particular time. No, don't even, you cannot tell me that. Lies. It's all lies. That's all lies. But here we go. Let's see. "You will then share out the spoil half and half between those who fought the campaign and the rest of the community. From the share of the combatants who took part in the campaign, you will set aside out of every 500 persons oxen, donkeys, and sheep as Yahweh's portion." Oh, yeah, let's make sure, right? So that, yep, make God a definite part of it. "You will take this from the half share coming to them and give it to the priest Eleazar as the portion set aside for Yahweh." I'm going to go throw up. "From the half coming to the Israelites, you will take one out of every 50 persons, oxen, donkeys, sheep, and all other animals, and give them to the Levites who are responsible for Yahweh's dwelling." Moses and the priest Eleazar did as Yahweh had ordered Moses. The spoils, the remainder of the booty captured by the soldiers, came to 675,000 sheep and goats, 72,000 head of cattle, 61,000 donkeys, and in persons, women who had never slept with a man, 32,000 virgins. 32,000 in all. It doesn't say virgin in here. Well, young women who had never slept with a man. I guess that's how they worded it. Half was assigned to those who had taken part in the war, namely 337,500 sheep and goats, of which Yahweh's portion was 675. 36,000 head of cattle, of which Yahweh's portion was 72. 30,500 donkeys, of which Yahweh's portion was 61. And 16,000 persons, of which Yahweh's portion was 32. And what's God going to do with those 32? What are they going to do? Sacrifice them to? Wasn't there a warning of God said, do not, right? What was it? Moloch, right? Do not sacrifice the babies to Moloch anymore, right? What are they doing here? Now God wants some babies sacrificed to him, or young women, or whatever, children. Wow. Interesting. How convenient for them, huh? Heck no. No. Moses gave the priest Eleazar the portion set aside for Yahweh as Yahweh had ordered Moses. Here we go. As Yahweh had ordered Moses. Sure. Yeah. Not sure where you got that order, but it ain't from Yahweh. As for the half coming to the Israelites, which Moses had separated from that of the combatants, this half the community share. Ooh, my daughter just responded to something. Blah, 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 blah. Came to 337,500 sheep and goats. Don't even care. 36,000 head of cattle. 30,500 donkeys. And 16,000 persons. There you go. Slavery at work again. Well, they were slaves at one point. They know how it's done, right? From this half, the Israelites Moses took one out of every 50, human and animal, and gave them to the Levites, who were responsible for Yahweh's dwelling, as Yahweh had ordered Moses. Let me go and check on something here real quick. Oh, well, there we go. The offerings. The officers of the thousands who had fought the campaign, the commanders of the thousands and commanders of the hundreds, came to Moses and said, "Your servants have numbered the soldiers under their command. None of our men is missing. So, as an offering for Yahweh, we have brought what each of us has found in the way of gold ornaments, armlets, and bracelets, rings, earrings, and breastplates, to make expiation for ourselves before Yahweh." Moses and the priest Eleazar accepted this gold from them, all this jewelry. This portion of gold given to Yahweh by the commanders of the thousands and commanders of the hundreds amounted to 16,750 shekels. Each of the soldiers took his own booty. But Moses and the priest Eleazar, having accepted the gold from the commanders of the thousands and commanders of the hundreds, brought it into the tent of meeting to be a reminder of the Israelites before Yahweh. Nicely how they fixed all this, huh? Yep, that's the end of 31. Despicable. I know what people think out there, right? Yes. What if nobody would have stepped in World War II? World War I, World War II. What if nobody... Okay, we stepped in our time, not too long, 20 years ago, in some places in the world. And what happened 20 years later? I'm just saying. So the Israelites didn't lose one man. Nobody's missing. Not one man? All right. It didn't say no one's dead. They all survived. It said nobody's missing. Were there some dead soldiers of the Israelites? No, don't know. No idea. What I think the saddest thing is, in World War II, it takes time to build an army, right? Yes? It takes time to turn a whole people's mind towards atrocities, and the whole of the people was involved in a way, okay? Again, just because I didn't say it was okay. Well, I didn't. You can't tell me that you don't know what's going on behind the barbed wire when you suddenly in your city, a part of the city is just, and all of your friends, your neighbors suddenly are behind there and have that star on there, or when they have to start wearing that star showing that they are Jews. Just saying, it takes time, doesn't it? Huh? And nobody went, hey, wait a second. No. We got to stop that in the tracks. And immediately go to the neighboring countries and say, no, we have to stop this. Something's wrong here, right? Something's not right. No, it took 6 million Jews. 6 million Jews died in that war. Horrific deaths, okay? And no, undoubtedly more died afterwards because the starvation and certain other things that they had to go through, they couldn't. The children who were Dr. Mengele, as I said, we got them again now, the Dr. Mengeles, mangling up our children. Oh, yeah, okay. And people, what are people doing now? Some are fighting for these kids out there. Not even their own. The parents are even too stupid. Okay, that's stupidity again. What kind of parents are they? Put children through things like this at such an early age, okay? Instead of, okay, I understand this. Okay, you feel that way right now. But you're going to have to wait until you're an adult. And then after that, because I'm responsible for you. Or pushing children in. Parents pushing children into. Okay, maybe you know what I'm talking about. All right, so it took 6 million lives plus. Not counting the Germans who actually were fighting against that and also were killed. Yeah. And in other countries, Poland, same thing there. There were people fighting against this atrocity, all that stuff. Just not that. Unbelievable. So one had to go in and take care of that. Well, why? Why did it have to be that way then? Because things weren't taken care of in the early stages, where someone would go, hey, no. If it would have been necessary, there would have been one that needed to be taken out, right? Yes? And that would have been Hitler. One person that needed to be taken out. Done. Why was that not happen? Why did that not happen? Oh, yeah, later on he was all surrounded by what? Then that Himmler guy? Oh, man. Well, anyway, so there it is, right? Are things any different now when we look at war? Well, we got our excuses, right? Yes, of course we do. It is what it is, and it has happened. It's still happening, and for various reasons, it's going to continue happening. But if anybody out there believes that God in any way ever had a say in that, a positive say in that, or where he sanctioned a war and then made it holy because, well, we're on the side of goodness. We just went to help, right? Don't even go there, okay? Just don't. That's all I have to say to that. Oh, I could say more. Maybe I will later. I've had experiences with, I'm not going to go there. No, I'm too upset right now. I don't think I'm going to be in the right state of mind to share it all properly. It'll come up again later, and it'll be a better give and take than how I feel right now. Why do I feel upset? Frustrated? Because, again, whose name's being used? The all-loving God. Unchanging, all-loving God. What do you think? Is it Balaam? Sounds like Balaam. They were talking about Yahweh there too, weren't they? And oddly enough, what Balaam was saying, what? To the Israelites about Balaam? What did Balaam have to do with the Israelites? As far as I know, he went to that king He said, "No, I'm not going to do that. Doesn't matter how many things you sacrifice to Yahweh, right? But no, I can't curse them people. I've got my guidance." And what did the king do? Sent him back home. As far as I know, he never had anything to do with the Israelites. But here, they put him to the sword because of what? Something that never happened. Out there. That's very sad, isn't it? I think that's very sad. In the name of God, slaughter babies, children, and women. And keep what? What did they keep? The young girls. Yes. Well, I tell you what, I could just about see the saliva coming out of some of them Israelite men's mouth when they realized, I'm going to get me some young girls. Yes. Oh, yeah. All right. I think I made my point, huh? Nice holy war, huh? Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Had my say. Holy cannoli. Oh. And here I am reminded. One thing to worry today, is our young people between 13 and 17 years old are very much being influenced and driven astray, okay, by some influencers out there of certain things, all available here on, whatever outlets there are for all this stuff. Impressionable young minds who are kind of physically, spiritually struggling, or right, that time where you're growing out of childhood into young adulthood, then into adulthood, and they're like babies in that world, okay? Young 2-year-olds, right, with temper tantrums and this and that, right? Yes? Still cute and sweet, this that butt, huh? And so vulnerable. So vulnerable. We have these trends. They're trends. They're just trends. No, some of the stuff that I see out there that's going on now, messing with the minds of our young people. I can't help you if you're an adult and they're messing with you too, okay? And the ones below, they're too young. Most of them are, right? Unless, of course, again, the parents are already shoveling stuff down their throat they should never be exposed to at that age. Trends. That, no doubt, in a few years, it'll all, disappear kind of and have run its course. But the damage and many millions of young people will have been done. I guarantee you that. We've got the warnings out there with the ones who are coming out saying, please don't involve children in this. And teenagers, please don't. They will regret it, every one of them, to start with, right? Or, don't listen. There's one out there. Don't listen to your parents, this and that. Again, we're not talking children who are being abused, okay? We're talking children who have a good home, good parents, are taken care of. Suddenly now, due to the fact, again, they're so vulnerable, at that age, and special, even more so the guidance of the parents is very needed, right? Are being led astray, right, into happiness. No. Into despair, depression, anxiety, eventually. That's it. A new toy, this always sounds good. Looks good. Yes, and one can do this and that with it, and and I don't know what. Right? Yes, but that toy will get old too. Yeah. just a little out of context example, but still. So that was when one really thinks a little deeper. And I'm surprised that some of these videos aren't just downright not accepted in the media, or just no. They have no problems on taking the Lord's Prayer, the Ten Commandments off the walls everywhere in public, in the schools, this snap, right? But these videos, you're allowed to have your cell phone in school, don't you? And all that, they're floating around everywhere among our young adults, our impressionable, vulnerable young adults between 13, maybe even 12 to 17, 18, 19. It's an odd one. I'm just not sure on how the leaders, the ones who are around the world, they're supposed to be all human beings, right? Yes, the Israelites are supposed to be human beings. What are they doing? What did they do to Midian and the people there? They're supposed to, right? How are you going to have a job if you have all dysfunctional people? Every politician, every leader out there, president, king, whatever, who are they taking care of? Who pays your salary? Who takes care of you? In exchange for what? Well, if you suddenly have people in their 20s and 30s and 40s, in about another 10 years, 15 years, who are so out of their mind, so they can't work, everybody getting on SSI, how you gonna, Oh, well, it's not gonna be everybody, it's just, okay, all right, so let's call all them young people collateral damage due to the fact on what's going on around there with a few people who somehow have, this hold over our young generations? Okay, all right then, let's let it be that way. Weird one again, right? Yes, yeah. We'll find plenty of excuses to, that's it. Yeah. So the whole of Midian was just collateral damage. Hey, okay, good. All sanctioned by Yahweh. Yes, gotcha. Oh, I wonder if he sanctions the, okay. Whoa, this one got me going. This one really got me going. So we're going to finish up with something good, though. What I've also seen is that a lot of people out there are individuals, not in a mob, a crowd, or this or that. It does happen too, but not more so individuals who are giving really from their heart to mind, have found God, okay, in a really amazing way, and they're sharing it. And more so, the people are falling back to what? Yes. Becoming, again, if they have been, kind of fallen out of it, if they've never been, true believers. That's a good thing. That's a good start. Yes? We've got to believe in that. And I do know that we all have God truly with us. Absolutely. Our heavenly parents, the strong part of God, which is the Father, then the nurturing, loving part, that is the mother. But together, they don't kill. They don't steal. They don't commit adultery. They don't worship other gods. Oh, well, could God worship another god? Well, according to what I just read in Numbers 31, God would be worshiping something completely off the path on who he is. Don't you think? Well, just saying. But here are our heavenly parents. Yes, the dual characteristics of God is a father in the subject position and a mother in the object position, right? Yes, together they make one. In God, they do. In God, they make one. Yes? Yeah. In any case, our heavenly parents are with us. One thing, look at the 10 Commandments every once in a while and know. Thou shalt not kill is not just thou shalt not murder. Okay? Oh, what about Hitler? Well, they could have just rendered him unconscious and then taken him away and put him away somewhere in the deepest, darkest dungeon until his life was out. Didn't have to kill him. Just saying. Right? Gag him. That would have been one thing. Just gag him. Oh, cut his tongue out. There you go. Would have been perfect. All right, let's say. There's other ways to do things besides, right? Yeah. Well, there are many other ways that one could take care of certain things, right? But people have their own agendas, their own ideas, this and that. The Israelites did too, right? For one reason or another. Done. So, but this is what we got in Numbers 31. The thing is, though, that as Christians, as believers, as with faith and hope, and keeping to the 10 Commandments, regardless. Yes, that means we will give our lives. Because how else otherwise will good ever truly triumph? Yeah, but I hear the buts, okay? There's absolutely no need to kill babies. Right? Oh. Who am I talking to? There. Well, it's in the Bible. They killed babies. So, hey, God was fine with it, they say. Well, there you go. Oh, gotcha. You got to take a stand 100%. Absoluteness is the key. Done. Done. So, got work to do. It's going to be a nice, beautiful day again. The boys are still out. And I got to go put the horses up in a little bit. I have time. And I got some praying to do today. Prayer works, guys. Prayer works. Standing steadfast in our beliefs, hope, and faith works. And love, we have to relearn what that is. Absolutely. Keep the 10 Commandments in mind. Say the Lord's Prayer with a humble, trying to understand heart to mind. And protect your children. Restrict their access to the internet if they're young. And if they are young adults, talk to them. Talk to them. I don't think I did it here. Didn't have to do it here. My children knew better than that, but I took all the doors off the hinges in the last house we lived in Berkeley. because there was no door slamming going to go on in my house. No, no, no. And there is no storming off, and I storm right after them. Right? And then I'd wait until they cool down, this and that, and then we talked. Every time I did that with them from as a young child on. Yeah. Yeah. And then as they became young adults, certain things would come up, and I would talk to them then too. And since I've got some good knowledge, this, that, some things they were influenced by, I could say, okay, let's look at science here and how that works. Let's look at the actual possibilities of this or that, and how that's going to work out for you if you continue this way, and so on and so forth. Right? Yes. It worked, I would say, about 85% of the time. I couldn't prevent everything, but yes, okay. That's what we do. Now, my children in their 30s, one of them not quite there yet, they are all of a good sound mind, and a caring, loving, they have a caring, loving heart. What more can I wish for? Do they everything 100% right? Come on now, okay? I'm still working on that. But, yes, now, my grandchildren are coming up. Got to remind my children how Mama did it with them. Yes, don't turn your head when it comes to your own children, please. You're a parent. You have to just you've got to take the time. Take the time. Know your child. Know your child better than you know your cell phone. Okay? All right? Or any other devices you spend more time with than your children. Well, anyway, I had to say that too now, right? Yeah, okay, just a reminder. All right. Okay, that's all I have to share. But seen a lot of good things out there. We're a little bit more underground, huh? It's almost like, wow, at what time, huh? Yes, Jesus, after Jesus died, and the Romans and the Christians, right? Lots of stuff going on underground when it came to the Christians, right? Romans, every which way, tried to what? Do what? Huh? Fed them even to lions and whatever, huh? Yes? How many millions, billions of Christians are all around the world? Ooh. I happen to know there are millions. Huh? Millions of people already attached to the change of lineage. Huh? Yes? As well. Who are they? The Moonies. Yes. You can call me a Moonie anytime. Very proud of that. Yes, I am. I am a Moonie, a true daughter of God. So, and these Christians didn't fight back either. They couldn't fight back. Right? Yes? Had nothing to fight back with. Yet still. See, that's how God works. We have to just have faith and trust in God as well, right? We will survive. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you, and I will talk to y'all another time.